Moral flood tide sweeps the world today. Great memorials of history are being washed away. Ancient boundaries of civilization obliterated. Barbarism, robbed of its clothes, stands revealed. With arrogant mocking, it flaunts destructive revelry against mankind. From the depth of man's anguished heart comes the cry, why is this? Angry voices are raised, refusing to recognize the presence of a benevolent principle anywhere in this cataclysmic fury. To doubters I ask, were there no principle of goodness at the center of creation? Why does humanity, at the mortal struggle of an age, suffer from this worldwide agony? Does not disease with its suffering prove that in the freedom of health dwells life's inherent truth? Suffering is denial, while health is affirmation of life. Our body, acknowledging this, offers stout fight to the last. If disease had caused us no suffering, then indeed we could have accused life as being treacherous. War has burst on all sides, but who causes this war? The insulted monarchy of the good in the heart of the universe. This insult was being heaped up for long under the far-flung patronage of power, filling its storerooms with looted goods. Power soon identified possessiveness with the principle of right. Practicing oppression, it declared God to be on its side. Then destruction touched its own roots. All peace vanished. The entire race arrayed itself in weapons and military monstrosity. Stolen ammunition dumps like a red boil became more inflamed. Mutual suspicion, unrest, repression's ugly trickery wrought by poisoned minds, sly diplomatic torture, and sham decency spread their tentacles in lying politics and tyrannical government. If war stopped for a while, peace did not arrive. In the subterranean depths of history, rumbling earthquakes heralded fresh disaster. Natural human contact daily grew impossible. Barbed obstacles were raised in the path of hospitality. Behavior, forgetting all civilized tradition, reverted to savagery. The fact that deadly symptoms of evil can no longer be hidden proves that beneficence abiding in human history keeps vigilant judgment. In society, as in our bodily system, the principle of self-preservation remains active, safeguarding humanity. It works in man's wakeful being. Beneficent providence in our scriptures has never been reduced to mere mercifulness, from whom men like children could crave indulgence. Rudra yakte dakshinam mukham tenamam pahinityam. He is Rudra, the terrible, who yet protects by his goodness whatever is true, courageous, and pure. Whatever testifies to man's faith in his unconquerable majesty, helpless inanition, Rudra never forgives. Man's highest prayer is that he may reach from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. This is not a prayer for the weak, but a challenge from man's final blessedness, calling him toward fulfillment through toil and travail. It brings Rudra's inspiration from man's inner being and sets him on the arduous path of truth. Surprised I feel and ashamed when our literature offers petulant tirades against Providence, nasally intonated and garbed in ridiculous gestures, punishing him for not existing at all, simply because one has suffered personally or seen someone else suffer. We forget that our scriptures have said, Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. We contemplate the energy of the adorable God, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, who gives us reason. It has not been said that Providence nurses the inefficient weakling on his lap. He gives us reason. That is to say, on ourselves we have to depend. We are forbidden by his ruling to knock tearfully at his door. To him I offer my salute because he has kept himself away from our sphere and does not, like an ever-anxious mother, constantly reveal his presence. My manhood he has dowered with respect, giving me the full right of responsibility. He does not lead the coward by the hand, but makes him travel even through the experience of death so that he can live unafraid. Hence this paradox. Those who rule out God from their belief can yet win the fruits of faith by using reason to attain reality. And slowly reveal his luminous presence in history. That has been the result of no little suffering. Taking his life, heroic man has controlled the primitive animal within and also discovered his own godliness. This discovery goes on through the fearless, unremitting effort of brave generations. Where we are unsuccessful, where we are defeated, there must be suffer and never merit indulgence. In shameless petulance, let us not demand pity when we have insulted our own godliness and then cry out that God is not there. If he is not there, whose fault is it? Enmeshed in inertia, the coward denies his own reality and then rushing to the feet of some guru or bribing some priest deafens his powers by the harsh clang of bells and cymbals. We must remember, Yuktasmana Svadameva Vishanti. Through the mastery of the power of his own being, man enters everywhere, from the starry universe to the subtlest mysteries of the human heart. Samhidevam Atmodhit Prakasham. In his own rational mind is that God revealed, and through it must come realization. Ye Purushe Brahmavidaste Paramaishtina. Those who know the great in man know the Supreme God. Samvedyam Purusham Ved. By hiding God in one's soul and proclaiming that he does not exist outside, let us not vainly insult him. The varied sufferings of worldly life need not be taken too seriously. They come either because of natural laws or of some mental principles. Both are external. But we have seen men conquering pain by undaunted prowess, plunging into fiery ordeal only to march forward with triumph. What strife against this? The power that lies behind is neither physical nor mental. It belongs to the inward self, where man is united with his God. Realizing greatness within himself, man does not express sorrow at any sacrifice or pain. He who has realized the glory of God in his own soul, freed is he from fear and suffering. To whose door can he march ever with complaint? Whom can he blame? Those who have attained realization within can offer their all without hesitation and with unbounded joy. Dedicating themselves wholly, they lead history from life's daily niggardliness to the realm of perfection. If they have any complaints, those are self-directed. The pain is terrible. Not that such heroes have never known defeat, but their banner is raised high over all failures. Blessed are we, blessed is man, not because some God is ruling us, but because our own divinity is honoring us by sorrow after sorrow. Blessed is man, that he is not an animal of the gods, but is one with God.
Where have I come from? Where did you pick me up? The baby asked its mother. She answered, half crying, half laughing, and clasping the baby to her breast. You were hidden in my heart as its desire, my darling. You were in the dolls of my childhood's games. And when with clay I made the image of my God every morning, I made and unmade you then. When in girlhood my heart was opening its petals, you hovered as a fragrance about it. Your tender softness bloomed in my youthful limbs like a glow in the sky before the sunrise. Heaven's first darling, twin born with the morning light, you have floated down the stream of the world's light, and at last you have stranded on my heart. As I gaze on your face, mystery overwhelms me. You who belong to all have become mine. For fear of losing you, I hold you tight to my breast. What magic has snared the world's treasure in these slender arms of mine? When I bring you colored toys, my child, I understand why there is such a play of colors and clouds on water, and why flowers are painted in tint. When I give colored toys to you, my child, when I sing to make you dance, I truly know why there is music in leaves, and why waves send their chorus of voices to the heart of the listening earth. When I sing to make you dance, when I bring sweet things to your greedy hand, I know why there is honey in the cup of the flower, and why fruits are secretly filled with sweet youth. When I bring sweet things to your greedy hand, when I kiss your face to make you smile, my darling, I surely understand what pleasure streams from the sky in morning light, and what delight the summer breeze brings to my body when I kiss you to make you smile. those tears in your eyes, my child? How horrid of them to be always scolding you for nothing. You have stained your fingers and face with ink while writing. Is that why they call you dirty? Oh, fie! Would they dare to call the full moon dirty because it has smudged its face with ink? For every little trifle they blame you, my child. They are ready to find fault for nothing. You tore your clothes while playing. Is that why they call you untidy? Oh, fie! What would they call an autumn morning that smiles through its ragged clouds? Take no heed of what they say to you, my child. They make a long list of your misdeeds. Everybody knows how you love sweet things. Is that why they call you greedy? Oh, fie! What then would they call us who love you?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल जमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे.
Mother, let us imagine we are traveling and passing through a strange and dangerous country. You are riding in a palanquin, and I am trotting by you on a red horse. It is evening, and the sun goes down. The waste of Joradiki lies worn and grey before us. The land is desolate and barren. You are frightened and thinking, I know not where we have come to. I say to you, Mother, do not be afraid. The meadow is prickly with spiky grass, and through it runs a narrow broken path. There are no cattle to be seen in the wide field. They have gone to their village stalls. It grows dark and dim on the land and sky, and we cannot tell where we are going. Suddenly you call me and ask me in a whisper, what light is that near the bank? Just then there bursts out a fearful yell, and figures come running towards us. You sit crouched in your palanquin and repeat the names of the gods in prayer. The bearers, shaking in terror, hide themselves in the thorny bush. I shout to you, don't be afraid, Mother, I am here. With long sticks in their hands and hair all wild about their heads, they come nearer and nearer. I shout, have a care, you villains. One step more and you are dead men. They give another terrible yell and rush forward. You clutch my hand and say, dear boy, for heaven's sake, keep away from them. I say, Mother, just you watch me. Then I spur my horse for a wild gallop, and my sword and buckler clash against each other. The fight becomes so fearful, Mother, that it would give you a cold shudder could you see it from your palanquin. Many of them fly, and a great number are cut to pieces. I know you are thinking, sitting all by yourself, that your boy must be dead by this time. But I come to you all stained with blood and say, Mother, the fight is over now. You come out and kiss me, pressing me to your heart, and you say to yourself, I don't know what I should do if I had my boy to escort me. You say that father writes a lot of books, but what he writes I don't understand. He was reading to you all the evening, but could you really make out what he meant? What nice stories, Mother, you can tell us. Why can't father write like that, I wonder? Did he never hear from his own mother stories of giants and fairies and princesses? Has he forgotten them all? Often when he gets late for his bath, you have to go and call him 100 times. You wait and keep his dishes warm for him, but he goes on writing and forgets. Father always plays at making books. If ever I go to play in Father's room, you come and call me, "What a naughty child." If I make the slightest noise, you say, "Don't you see that Father's at his work?" What is the fun of always writing and writing? When I take up Father's pen or pencil and write upon his book just as he does, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, why do you get cross with me then, Mother? You never say a word when Father writes. When my father wastes such heaps of paper, Mother, you don't seem to mind at all. But if I take only one sheet to make a boat with, you say, "Child, how troublesome you are. What do you think of Father spoiling sheets and sheets of paper with black marks all over on both sides?"
When my mind was released from the black cavern of oblivion and woke up into an intolerable surprise, it found itself at the crater of a volcanic hellfire that spouted forth a stifling fume of insult to man. It witnessed the long-drawn suicidal agony of the time spirit passing through convulsions of a monstrous deformity worse than death. On its one side, a defiant savagery and the growl of homicidal drunkenness. On the other, timid powers tied to the load of their carefully guarded hoardings, meekly settling down to a silent safety of acquiescence after miscalculated bursts of impatience. At the old nation's council chambers, plans and protests are pressed flat between the tight-shut, prudent lips. In the meanwhile, across the sky, rush with their blazing blasphemy the soulless swarms of vultured machines, carrying their missiles of ravenous passion for human entrails. Give me power, O awful judge, sitting on the throne of eternity. Give me a voice of thunder, that I may hurl imprecation upon this cannibal whose gruesome hunger spares neither women nor children, that my words of reproach may ever rock upon the heart throbs of a history humiliated by itself, till this age, choked and chained, finds the bed of its final rest in its ashes. When I was 18, a sudden spring breeze of religious experience for the first time came to my life and passed away, leaving in my memory a direct message of spiritual reality. One day, while I stood watching at early dawn, the sun sending out its rays from behind the trees, I suddenly felt as if some ancient mist had in a moment lifted from my sight, and the morning light on the face of the world revealed an inner radiance of joy. The invisible screen of the commonplace was removed from all things and all men, and their ultimate significance was intensified in my mind. And this is the definition of beauty. That which was memorable in this experience was its human message, the sudden expansion of my consciousness in the superpersonal world of man. The poem I wrote on the first day of my surprise was named The Awakening of the Waterfall. The waterfall, whose spirit lay dormant in its ice-bound isolation, was touched by the sun and bursting in a cataract of freedom, it found its finality in an unending sacrifice, in a continual union with the sea. After 4 days, the vision passed away, and the lid hung down upon my inner sight. In the dark, the world once again put on its disguise of the obscurity of an ordinary fact. When I grew older and was employed in a responsible work in some villages, I took my place in a neighborhood where the current of time ran slow and joys and sorrows had their simple and elemental shades and lights. The day which had its special significance for me came with all its drifting trivialities of the commonplace life. The ordinary work of my morning had come to its close, and before going to take my bath, I stood for a moment at my window, overlooking a marketplace on the bank of a dry riverbed, welcoming the first flood of rain along its channel. Suddenly I became conscious of a stirring of soul within me. My world of experience in a moment seemed to become lighted, and facts that were detached and dim found a great unity of meaning. The feeling which I had was like that which a man groping through a fog without knowing his destination might feel when he suddenly discovers that he stands before his own house.